Hi everybody and a warm welcome to our Wave Italy Professional Training Center. Passion, full dedication, professional competence are the key points that move me and my team day by day in the effort to deliver the best driving simulation experience. As many of you already know, our technical and R&D headquarters is in Maranello, the famous land of motorsport. But today we are in our location in Verona, where we created a new proposal for the training of professional pilots.
Nice to meet you. I am a professional racing driver and professional coach. I was kart world champion in the endurance series, and I race and test many different racing cars, including Ferrari Formula 1. I have been working with simulators for years to improve my technique and to train a lot of talented drivers. Now I tell you what we can do for you. Here we have two professional simulators that can work together, so I can help you to simulate some different racing situations, as the start, overtaking different parts of the circuit, how to defend your position, and the most important, how to be consistent under pressure. With our know-how, we have developed the physical model of the vehicles with maximum accuracy. With this training, you will improve your skills and your sensibility. Our tracks are in laser scan, and we also develop the different weather conditions. We can also work together with our live telemetry. I can watch many data and channels and tell you immediately what is fine and what you have to do better. You can train every day, and I look forward to passing you all my experience to help reach your best results. Remember, great results need hard training. I am ready, and you?
Okay then, thanks for your attention. We are ready to welcome you here. We do our best to have the champion of today and tomorrow. Ciao and see you soon.
I know you've got a secret like a child, you wanna keep it, but your shiny eyes reveal the simple truth.
For only €5 a month, experience every high-definition moment on your TV, tablet, phone or PC. Great teams, great moments, and so much more. TSN from Melita is your ticket to stay in the game. Visit melita.com/sports.
A good afternoon, people from across the globe, and a very warm welcome to round 3 of the Wave Italy V8 Championship here at World Pro Racing. My name is Felix van Delft. I will be your commentator for tonight. Doing the broadcast as usual, we've got Justin Mifsud, race director Adrian Figallo, and stewarding we have George Muscat. We are all ready to get racing here for the third round, which is going to be held at the Barbagallo Raceway in Australia. Fairly short track, 7 corners only, so it's going to be a challenge for the drivers. Quite a bit of changes in height as well in the track, so it goes up, down. So it's going to be tricky for the drivers to make sure their cars stay pointed in the right direction, and we'll see how they are able to manage that Let's have a quick look at the championship standings, of course, as we've already had 2 rounds earlier. Adam Pinch has been very, very strong throughout these first 2 rounds, winning both of them. So he's leading the championship at the moment with 75 points. Ross McFarlane, who unfortunately is not able to attend at least the first race for today, is in second place in the championship, finishing second in both the first and the second round. And then we've got Daniel Stremer in third, also doing a very good job by finishing third in the first round, and second, or shared second in the first round. Then Gerard Martinez in fourth, Sheldon Muscat in fifth, Nathan Missoud in sixth, Alex Life sharing seventh together with Dean Vella. Then in ninth, it's Luca Ragusa. And rounding up the top 10 of the championship, we've got Dominic Holmes. So drivers are getting ready to jump into the qualifying session. So there will be just 1 other minute of official practice, and then the drivers will jump into a 10-minute qualifying session. Then after that, we've got a 15-minute race. So first, we've got 10 minutes of practice coming up in just about a minute's time. Then we are qualifying. Then we're racing for 50 minutes. Then after that, we're qualifying for 10 minutes again. And then another race of 15 minutes. So then in the end, the race results will be combined and the winner of the day will obviously follow from the points paid out in both of those races. So official practice has just started, so the drivers will be starting to get out onto the racetrack, make sure all their cars are set up the way they like it, make sure they are used to the track. Of course, I would assume most of these drivers have already been practicing for quite a bit in the last 2 weeks, getting ready to find the perfect line and the perfect braking points on this track. Last time around, we were in Melbourne, and after the race we had a quick talk with the top 3 finishers, of course. And Adam Pinches back then mentioned that he hasn't driven at this Barbagallo racetrack before, so he had to do a bit of practice. Let's see if he's been able to do so. Obviously, like I said before, he's leading the championship. He's been very dominant throughout these first 2 races, and now in the third race, perhaps new track for him, a bit of a challenge. Perhaps somebody will be able to challenge him a bit more. Ross McFarlane, unfortunately, not able to make it to the first race, like I just mentioned, and some other drivers also unfortunately missing today because of other commitments. So a little bit of a smaller field, but I'm sure that the drivers will deliver a lot of action to us. Let's have a quick look at some of these drivers on the track, of course. Let's start off with the prime suspect, Adam Pinches. Let's have a look at what this track has to offer for us. He's just about coming through the final corner to start a flying lap around this Barbagallo track. Cross start finish, turning it into turn 1. Quite a long right-hander. You want to make sure you get a good line through there, and then on the power, make sure you don't have too much understeer. And a bit of a twisty section for the next 2 corners. Then turn 4 is a very long left-hander. It's gonna wear that right tire quite a lot. Then turn 5, a bit of a kink over a crest with a little bit of a straight before going into turn 6. Also a very long right-hander, also on the exit, still curving a little bit. And then a long back straight coming into turn 7. Again over a crest and down the hill. Will make braking a bit tricky here coming into the final corner. You can see he misses the inside apex a little bit. And then across the start-finish line to finish a lap here around the Barbagallo track. And he does it in only 55 seconds and 3/10 of a second. So even though it's a 50-minute race, you're gonna see quite a few laps around this track, and therefore quite a few opportunities for drivers to try and overtake each other, try and get past the driver in front of you, or perhaps also try to defend from the guy behind you. But first, of course, we have the qualifying session. After this 6.5 minutes remaining in the practice session, as Adam Pinches had a very, very big oversteering moment there coming through turn 6. This track, like you can see, a bit short, only 1.5 miles, 2.4 kilometers, but also very few corners. So I think the straights, especially the back straight with the crest and the braking zone coming into turn 7, is going to be the main point for overtakes that the drivers are trying to use. As you can brake perhaps a bit deeper into the inside. You have to watch out though, because the curbs here can be quite tricky. If you touch them a little bit too much, it can unsettle the car, and it's easy to lose these cars. These V8s have quite a lot of power on their rear wheels, no traction control, no ABS, so definitely the drivers have to be careful and have to manage their inputs very well. At the moment, in this practice section, we've got Dean Vella leading with a 54.9. So it's good to see Adam Pinches is not the quickest, at least at the moment. Perhaps he will correct me wrong as he just is coming over the line now. Yes, he is correcting me wrong. 54.878 for Adam Pinches. So he's showing, at least for now, he's very quick. Of course, these drivers will be fighting in the championship for a very nice prize from our sponsor Wave Italy. The winner of this championship will get a Wave Impetus Sim Pedal Pro set, which is definitely something everybody wants to have. 1,500 euros worth of pedals, with of course a throttle pedal, a brake pedal and a clutch pedal. Very, very high grade, so definitely something these drivers will want to win. And if you want to know more about that, head on over to the Wave Italy website, waveitaly.com. Also links down in the description on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed to that as well if you don't want to miss any of the action here at World Pro Racing. Let's have a look at the rest of the drivers on track. Field is pretty close at the moment. Pinches in first, of course. I say of course, but let's hope somebody else is able to challenge him today. Dean Vella right behind him with only 600ths of a second between them. And then Daniel Stramer, who's been doing a great job in the last 2 races, in third with just over a 10th of a gap. And then Alex Live behind them with about 4 or 3.5 tenths to Adam Pinches. So the field is pretty close. Of course, you have to take into account that this lap is only 55 seconds long, so the gaps are always going to be a bit shorter. There's only 7 corners where you can make mistakes and lose time, instead of Melbourne, for example, where we were last round, where you have more than 10 corners. I think almost 15, 16 corners by the top of my head. So it's always going to be a bit closer on the times. Just under 3 minutes remaining here in this practice session. After that, like I said, 10 minutes of qualifying. Drivers will of course want to make sure their cars are perfectly set up for that. They want to get into the corners nicely, but also have the top speed down the back straight. And of course you have to take into account that you will want to have some nice top speed to be able to overtake as well in the race, in the 2 races I should say. Now let's see how the drivers on track are doing. Daniel Stramer is looking feisty through the middle part of the track. The long left-hander is very hard on the right front tire, of course, as you go uphill and also are turning in. So a lot of stress on that right front tire. And in the race, I think that is definitely going to be a thing for the drivers. We've heard them say that already in the first 2 rounds, that the tire wear can really play quite a lot of a factor in the race. If you wear them a bit too much, then you're gonna lose out in the end of the race if you push too much in the beginning of the race. So it's something the drivers need to keep into mind. Now just over a minute remaining in this practice session. We can see some drivers also trying to follow each other. At least that's what I'm seeing with Dean Vella right behind Michael Butler. Perhaps trying to find out where the best overtaking spots are, as they are coming down the straight between turn 6 and 7. And a bit of a battle going on here between Vella and Butler. Nice to see that these drivers already looking to battle each other already in the practice session. We're not even in the race yet. Gonna give us a good idea on what these drivers will deliver for us later on after the qualifying session. Now Michael Butler dropping back a little bit, perhaps deciding let's try something else. Just prepare for qualifying now, because the practice session has just ended and we will switch to qualifying very, very shortly. In this practice session, quickest was Adam Pinches with a 1:54, no ones, just a 54-second 0.648. Then Dean Vella behind that, about 0.3 almost of a gap with a 54.941. Then Daniel Stremer with a 55.0 behind that. So Pinches almost 0.3 quicker than the competition at the moment. Looking very, very quick once again. But let's see how he will get through this qualifying session. Like I said before, 10 minutes long. This is the qualifying session for the first race of today. After that, we will have another qualifying section to get the grid for the second race of the day. So even if you don't have the best qualifying here in the first qualifying session, you still have an opportunity to get a good qualifying session and get a better result in the second race. So 1 minute left before that qualifying session starts. All the drivers just double checking if everything's perfectly right in that setup for qualifying. Of course, you want to make sure you don't have a full tank. That is going to weigh you down. It's just going to slow you down in the corners and down the straights. All right, 30 seconds to go as we are just waiting now for that session to begin. Let's hope somebody is able to challenge Pinches. According to the practice results, perhaps might be difficult, but of course we've seen last time around Pinches not able to take pole from Ross McFarlane. McFarlane always just having that little bit of an edge over Pinches in the qualifying session, but then during the race, Pinches just always was able to get that just get that little bit more pace in the race and get the overtake. Last time it was in the first corner already, or the second corner of Melbourne, and then just manage the gap, make sure the drivers behind him don't get too close. But now Ross McFarlane isn't here, at least for the first race. So Pinches looking to be at least the favorite for pole position in this first qualifying session. All the drivers just headed out onto the track. Quite busy. I guess the drivers will want to at least try and make a bit of a gap to each other. To make sure that they have a bit of clean air, but everybody's still quite bunched up as they start their first flying lap. Let's have a look at Pinches as he comes through the first couple of corners. Turn 2, 3, twisty bit, then turn 4. You can see the car wants to understeer, but the right front tire being loaded. You have to be really patient to not go on the throttle too much. A bit of grass there on the outside for Pinches. Then braking into turn 6. He takes a bit of an inside line, as we see quite a lot of drifting when he goes onto the power there. Then over the crest, down the hill, braking into turn 7, the last corner of this track already. A bit of a snap coming into turn 7 there. It's not gonna help him too much on the times. Let's see what he's able to do in his first lap. 55.3 with Alex live at the moment in second, but Daniel Stremer just came over the finish line to set a 55.179. So Stremer definitely looking strong in the first phases of the qualifying session here at Barbagallo Raceway. Having a look at that Daniel Stremer. He's got some clean air in front of him. Now coming through turn 6. So far his sector times weren't an improvement on what he was doing before. In the contrary, Adam Pinches looks to be improving his lap time by quite a margin as well. Here we go, Pinches over the line with a 54.75. Really nice lap time for Pinches, and Pinches parks the car alongside the road to go back into the pit lane and try once again to set a nice lap time. Sheldon Muscat, in the meantime, has been able to improve himself up to a 55.17. Nice lap time from Muscat there, but still 4/10 away from Pinches. Pinches really looking extremely strong here in this first half of qualifying. Daniel Stremer not able to improve his lap time last time around. Perhaps this time, as he's coming into the last corner, onto the power he goes. A bit of oversteer, quite a lot of oversteer actually. If you have to turn left 3 times in a row in a right corner, then you know that you're definitely on the limit. Stremer not able to improve there on that lap. And then Pinches is on another out lap, just coming out of the final corner to start another attempt to perhaps make the gap to Muscat even bigger. As he turns into turn 1, the right-hander, and full power, full throttle here through turns 2 and 3. Then again, that left-hander, you have to be patient. Pinch just does a really nice job of doing so. Into turn 6. You can see he takes quite a lot of inside line through there. As I say that, by the way, Stremer has improved himself in that final lap up to a 54.86. Now let's see what Pinches is able to do. Is he able to extend that gap a bit further now, as Stremer is able to close it in? No, this lap wasn't an improvement for Pinches. So perhaps he's starting to feel the breath from Daniel Stremer closing in. Only 1/10 between them now. And Stremer looking to perhaps improve on this next attempt as well. As I say that, he parks the car alongside the road to let another driver by, so he will do another slow lap before trying once again. Now behind Stremair, it's Sheldon Muscat, still with a bit of a gap to the two drivers in front of him. He is just coming into turn 1 to start another lap. Looking to improve, of course, but he's got quite a big gap to the drivers in front of him, and he's working the car quite a lot. You can see him just through turn 4 there, battling with the steering wheel, turning right, left, just trying to get the car turned in. Now turn 6. He takes a very wide entry, in the contrary to what we saw Pinches do, taking the very narrow entry. But perhaps that works a bit better for Pinches than it does for Muscat. Of course, we don't know exactly how their cars are set up now. Muscat out of the final corner. Let's see if he's able to improve on that lap time. No, he's not able to improve on his personal best. So also not closing into Stremair and Pinches. Who Pinches, by the way, in the pit lane right now. So he's gonna have to get back out to do another lap time. Or he doesn't have to, of course. But I would say the gap to Stremair is not that big. It's not that he has got a lot of safety margin behind him, as Stremair is also coming across the line to start another attempt. He's got a car in front of him, but I think he's far enough to not get into his way. Perhaps he's able to get a bit of slipstream even from him, which is going to give him a bit more speed down the straights, which this track has quite a lot. As we see, Stremair does a bit of a weave there. Alex Life is in P4 at the moment, as you just saw him. He's not too far off Shannon Muscat, so I guess he's trying to improve his lap time to get at least that third place starting position. Stremair is trying to warm his tires right now as he comes through the final corner to start another lap. Last lap, as he was just doing an out lap, trying to warm his tires to get ready for this lap. Turning into turn 1, turning it in nicely on the apex. Bit of a wiggle coming out of the corner. Not too bad though. Turning it into the long left-hander. Patience on the throttle, bit of a wiggle, but seems okay. First sector time, what is it going to be for Stremair? 19.8. That's pretty much the same as everybody else is doing. Now, again, he also does the wide entry here through turn 6, or has he just made a mistake because he's lost quite a lot of time, almost half a second through there. Dean Vella was quite quick in the second sector, I was going to say, but he's in the pit lane right now. Only 1 minute to go in this qualifying session, so Dean Vella won't be able to do another lap. His qualifying is over, so for him it's hoping that Muscat doesn't improve too much to take away again that third place. Pinches just coming into turn 1 to start his final attempt. And of course, all the pressure is on Stremair to try and get that pole position away from Adam Pinches. As we see him come over the crest, coming into the final corner to finish his final attempt. I don't think it's going to be it for Daniel Stremair. He's made too many mistakes. He has only a 54.6 or 55.6 even there on that last lap. So he won't be getting the pole position. I believe all the other drivers are also already in the pit lane. No, I stand corrected. Nathan Mifsud is still on his final attempt as he comes into the final quarter, a bit wide. A lot of a drift there coming out of the last corner, and he is not able to improve on his time. So it will be Adam Pinches starting from pole position here in the first race at the Barbagallo Raceway. Daniel Stremmer will be starting besides him. Then Dean Vella right behind him. Sheldon Muscat next to him on the second row. Then Alex Life in fifth. Chris Vella in sixth. Michael Martin in seventh. Kirsten ABR in eighth. Then Nathan Mifsud in ninth. Matthew Bugia in 10th. And then Michael Butler carrying the Red Lantern in 11th place here for round 3 of the Wave Italy V8 Championship, as we are just waiting now to switch to the race session. So we will go for a short advertisement break just before we jump into that race. We will be right back.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome to our Wave Italy Professional Training Center. Passion, full dedication, professional competence are the key points that move me and my team day by day in the effort to deliver the best driving simulation experience. As many of you already know, our technical and R&D headquarters is in Maranello, the famous land of motorsport. But today we are in our location in Verona, where we created a new proposal for the training of professional pilots.
Nice to meet you. I am a professional racing driver and professional coach. I was kart world champion in endurance series, and I race and test many different racing cars, including Ferrari Formula 1. I have been working with simulators for years to improve my technique and to train a lot of talented drivers. Now I tell you what we can do for you. Here we have two professional simulators that can work together, so I can help you to simulate some different racing situations, as the start, overtaking different parts of the circuit, how to defend your position, and the most important, how to be consistent under pressure. our know-how, we have developed the physical model of the vehicles with maximum accuracy. With this training, you will improve your skills and versatility. Our trucks are in laser scan, and we also develop the different weather conditions. We can also work together with our live telemetry. I can watch many data and channels and tell you immediately what is fine and what you have to do better. You can train every day, and I look forward to passing you all my experience to help reach your best results. Remember, great results need hard training. I am ready, and you?
Okay then, thanks for your attention. We are ready to welcome you here. We do our best to have the champion of today and tomorrow. Ciao and see you soon.
And welcome back, everybody, here for round 3 of the Wave Italy V8 Championship. We are almost ready to get going for the first race of the day here at Barbagallo Raceway in Australia with the V8 cars. On pole position, we have got Adam Pinches, leader of the championship. If you've missed the previous 2 rounds, make sure to have a look at them on our YouTube channel, and of course subscribe so that you don't miss any of the upcoming races of this V8 championship, but also of course of all the other championships going on here at World Pro Racing. Just under 2 minutes to go before we get racing for this first race. So let's quickly have a look through who's going to be where on the starting grid. Once again, for the guys that are just tuning in, Pinches on that pole position with next to him Daniel Stremer, Dean Vella in 3rd, Sheldon Muscat in 4th, Alex Life in 5th, 6th is Chris Vella, 7th Michael Martin, 8th Kristen Abier, 9th Nathan Mifsud, 10th Matthew Bugia, and 11th we've got Michael Butler. So 15-minute race, going to be challenging for these drivers. Of course, we've heard them talk before in the interviews that we've had with them that the tires can be a bit tricky to work with, especially those rear tires, of course. A lot of power under the rear wheels of these V8 cars, which if you don't apply the power smooth enough will definitely break out the rear and wear your tires down rather a bit more quickly than if you are able to be a bit more gentle on them. Let's say it like that. About 15 seconds to go before we get going here for round 3 of the Wave Italy V8 Championship. We are waiting for the lights to come on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of them, and we are racing here at Barbagallo Raceway. Adam Pinches has got a good start off the line. Daniel Stremer perhaps trying to challenge him a little bit coming into turn on. A bit of contact made there, but everything still pointing in the right direction. Also further down the field, Sheldon Muscat trying to challenge Dean Vella for P3 of this race. A bit of a bad start for Muscat there, already being challenged by Alex Life for 4th place. And it seems that Life has been able to take that position away from Sheldon Muscat, and Pinches leading this pack quite comfortably, at least for the moment time. Now Muscat is trying to get back to Alex Life, losing that 4th place in the first lap as we come across the final corner for the first time of the day. Alex Life taking a defensive, or sorry, Dean Vella taking a defensive line coming into turn 1 this time around, trying to make sure Alex Life doesn't go for a cheeky move up the inside there. Now, like I mentioned in the practice session earlier, I think the main place for overtaking is going to be the back straight between turn 6 and 7. If somebody has a good run through that long right-hander of turn 6, they might be able to make a move on that back straight. Perhaps this time around Dean Vella putting the pressure on Daniel Stremer. He's not too far back. Perhaps if he makes a bit of a move up the inside, no. Has to wait for another time. As we see in the background, Christian Abier taking a very wide line in 6th place and losing quite a lot of time to Marco Martin right behind him. He's gonna have to watch out that he doesn't make that overtake on him. Now Dean Vella looking to close in the gap to Daniel Stremer. Of course, they want to make sure that they don't lose the connection to Adam Pinches as well. Alex Life behind them, putting a lot of pressure on them. Went a little bit wide through turn 6 there, but perhaps this time around he's got a good run out of turn 6. Braking late, but Dean Vella's got the inside covered. Really a place where you can get past, but the exit there out of the final corner isn't great for Dean Vella. That allows Alex Life to have a look up turn 1, a lock-up for Dean Vella as well. And I think that's moved on for Alex Life. A bit of contact made there on the rear. Big wiggle for Sheldon Muscat as we came out of turn 1 there. Muscat is trying to also have a look at Dean Vella. They're having a big slide coming through turn 4. Manages to keep the car pointed in the right direction, but had to work the car really a lot. And again, a lock-up there for Dean Vella coming into turn 6. That front right tire is not happy with the way Dean Vella is driving at the moment. And he has to watch out that he doesn't wear it out too much, because then he will start losing time compared to the drivers behind and of course also in front of him. He's already got quite a big gap to Alex Life, over a second between them now. And Sheldon Muscat making a bit of a mistake coming into turn 1 there, going slightly wide. A bit further in the back there has been a incident with, I believe that's Christian Abier. He was pointed the wrong way, and another driver. Definitely not what we want to see. And Christian Abier is quite far down the pack now. He's going to have to find a way back to Michael Butler in 10th. Now, fastest on track at the moment, Daniel Stremer trying to close in the gap to Adam Pinches, only 7/10 between the two at the moment. Sheldon Muscat still putting the pressure on Dean Vella, as the first 5 minutes of this race have already ticked away. Time flies when you're having fun. 10 minutes to go. As Sheldon Muscat takes a massive amount of curb as we come through turns 2 and 3, and almost lost the car because of it. Manages to stay pointed in the right direction though. But we can definitely see he's pushing the car to the absolute limit. And Adam Pinches has been putting a bit more pace down. The gap between him and Stremer starting to grow bigger now. Last lap 55.0 for Pinches, fastest man on track. Stremer about 1/10 slower during that last lap, so He's going to have to pick up the pace if he wants to gain that first place from Pinches. A bit further down the field, Nathan Mifsud is trying to take away 6th place from Matthew Bugaya. They are very close here, coming through turn 4. Is he going to have a look up the inside here? Oh, surely that's not going to work. No. But he has a better run through turn 5. This might allow him to have a look in turn 6. Oh, big lock up there from Matthew Bugaya. Is he going to go wide? Definitely doesn't have the best run through turn 6. Oh, but Nathan Mifsud has to lift there a little bit. A lot of understeer through turn 6 there for Nathan, which causes him to run a bit too wide and doesn't have the best exit. Again, a lock up there for Matthew coming into turn 7. Definitely looks like Nathan has a lot more pace, but just isn't able to get past at the moment. Sheldon Muscat in 5th, of course, also still trying to find a way past Team Vela, but let's keep with Nathan Mifsud. Also right behind him, Michael Martin. Ooh, there we go, Nathan Mifsud up the inside as there's a mistake for Matthew Bugaya in turn 4. A bit of wheel banging there coming through turn 5. That's going to allow Michael Martin to go past both of the drivers into turn 6. Amazing move there, taking the opportunity from Michael Martin, but Matthew Bugaya is gonna try and take the position back here, coming down the back straight into turn 7. The inside line is gonna be for Bugaya, but is it gonna be enough? No. Michael Martin, amazing move. Ooh, has a bit of a wiggle there over the curb on the exit there of the final corner. Nathan Mifsud diving up the inside into turn 1. Matthew Bugaya going a little bit wide. Mifsud, ooh, a bit of contact made. Ooh, almost spins there. Almost spins Matthew Bugaya around. Now Chris Vela is going to have a look in this as well. Amazing battle for P7. Ooh, a bit of a bump giving there by Chris Vela to Nathan Mifsud. Mifsud manages to keep control of his car, but definitely lost some time compared to the pack in front of him now. The man of the lap there was Michael Martin, taking 2 positions for the price of 1, taking the opportunity, and now in 6th place. Perhaps we'll be able to close the gap in to Sheldon Muscat and Dean Vela. Adam Pinches right now has gotten the gap up to over 2 seconds already to Daniel Stromer. Oh, and there's been an incident with Chris Vela and Michael Butler. Both of them spun around in turn 1, I believe. And that was definitely something that the stewards perhaps will have a look at. Now the battle for P6 is definitely not over yet. Michael Martin leading this back, but Nathan Mifsud and Matthew Bugaya not given up at all just yet. All right, so the field's starting to settle down a little bit more now. Battle for P7 starting to spread out these drivers. There's 5 minutes remaining in this race. Time flies away here. Sheldon Muscat is trying to pick up the pressure once again to Dean Vela as they just come through the final corner. Pinch is still quickest guy on the track at the moment. Michael Butler and Chris Vela starting to get close to each other once again. This ended in tears last time around, so let's hope they can keep it clean. Sheldon Muscat starting to really get close to Dean Vela now. With only a few minutes to go in this race, of course. He will want to try and find his way past him. Ooh, Nathan. Michael Martin has made a mistake. Ooh, on the grass even. And that has allowed Nathan Mifsuden, Matthew Bubia, sorry, to go past. I'm not sure exactly what happened there to Michael Martin, but I'm guessing it was a mistake by himself. Now let's switch back to the battle for P4, because Dane Vella is starting to really feel the pressure from Sheldon Muscat now. 3 minutes to go. 3.5, I should say. And Muscat starting to line himself up for a move. Pinches still comfortably leading this race though. Battle for P7 not done yet. Matthew Bugia and Michael Martin right behind each other as well. Coming into the last corner, it is Sheldon Muscat still behind Dean Vella. Ooh, Michael Martin once again with a mistake. He's on the grass. And lost the connection to Matthew Bugia now. He's gonna have to start watching out for Kirsten Abier behind him as well, if he keeps making these mistakes. Dean Vella, a bit of a lock-up coming into the turn 6. But Sheldon Muscat not as close as he has been. Perhaps starting to have some troubles with the tires. We've seen a lot of drivers sliding quite a lot and locking up those tires coming into the braking zones of turns 1 and 6. As Dean Vella shows exactly what I'm talking about just right there coming into turn 1. But there's only a few laps remaining in this race for Sheldon to try and find his way past Dean Vella for that 4th place. Back in P7. Matthew Bubia's comfortable. Michael Martin, I think, is gonna have to watch out for Kristen Abier, because Michael's losing a lot of time at the moment. Now, last minute of the race is running. And Kirsten Abier, he lost a little bit of time compared to Martin now. Perhaps a bit of a mistake from him. And Chris Vella behind him is going to have to see if he can take any opportunities that come forward to him. Now, it seems that with 30 seconds to go in this race, there's going to be one more lap. Spinches is just coming up to the final corner right now. It's gonna be pretty close, 15 seconds to the line. Yeah, he will be able to make that. So final lap of the race is running. Last chance for these drivers to try and make up some positions. But the gaps between the drivers are a bit spread out now. Down into P9, there's still Chris Vella starting to put pressure on Kirsten Abier and Michael Butler behind them, not giving up just yet. But the focus should be on Adam Pinches, as he is almost arriving to the final corner to start, or to finish, sorry, the first race of the day in style. Coming through that final corner, Adam Pinches takes once again race victory here for the first race of the 3rd round of the Wave Italy VA Championship. Daniel Stremir taking that 2nd place Alex Live in third. Great performance from him. Dean Vella fourth. Keeping Sheldon Muscat behind him. Then Nathan Mifsud. He's still on the back straight, but he will be finishing the race in 6th position. Great effort from him as well. Michael Bugia, only one more corner to go to keep Michael Martin behind him. And does so. Bugia in 7th. Martin in 8th. Kirsten Abier is battling with Chris Vella coming to the line. It's going to be a drag race. Who's going to be in front? It's Kirsten Abier. And Michael Butler only just shy of that 9th place and finishing in 10th, with Chris Vella finishing last in 11th position. As that finishes the first race of the day, now we will be jumping into another qualifying session of 10 minutes long. And after that, we will have one other race of 15 minutes long. So we will take again a short break. After that, we will jump straight into qualifying. So grab yourself a drink quickly, and then we will be right back. Oh, sorry, my bad. No advertisement. So we will be just jumping into the qualifying session in just a few minutes. And then I'll just quickly mention, of course, the main sponsor of the championship, Wave Italy, who you've also seen some advertisements from them on the stream. Their pedals, the Wave Impetus Sim Pedals Pro, will be the grand prize for the winner of the championship. Definitely something everybody wants to have. 1,500 euros worth of pedals. One of the best pedals out there on the market. So if you want a bit more information on that, just head on over to their website. Link is down into the description of the YouTube video, live stream, I should say, waveitaly.com. Now we jump into the qualifying session. 10 minutes once again. All the drivers head on over to the track, ready to set some quick lap times once again. Of course, same thing as we've had just a bit ago with the first qualifying session. Drivers will be trying to find a bit of a gap to set that quickest lap time. Who's going to be first to start their laps? I believe Pinches is one of the first. He's just coming into turn 1 right now. After straight jumping out of that first race, of course, gonna have to get used to the different fuel load. Lower fuel in this qualifying session on the cars. You want to be as quick as possible, of course. As he comes into turn 6. Ooh, big lockup for him. Even goes wide. So that's not the way you want to start your qualifying session in the runoff area. So jumps back into the pit lane and we'll start another outlap to try once again. Now, who is then going to be the first driver to finish his qualifying lap? Seems that Matthew Bugia is only in turn 1 right now, so Nathan Mifsud to cross the line. That'll be 55.9 for Nathan. Then Daniel Stremer goes beneath that with a 55.8. Sheldon Muscat goes even quicker, 55.7 for him. Kirsten Abier are only able to put a 56.1 down for now. But of course, the prime suspect Adam Pinches hasn't set a lap time yet. First couple of minutes of the qualifying session already done. And once again, Muscat and Stremer looking strong. All right, so let's see who's going to be quicker in the second run. Daniel Stremmer able to do a 55.4, but Dean Vella, quick lap time from him there, 55.2 on the board for him. Pinches is just coming through turn 6 right now to finish his first attempt. It seems that he's going to be fairly quick. Purple first sector, purple second sector for him. This final sector is going to be the decisive factor. Coming out of the last corner over the line, Adam Pinches takes provisional pole position, 55.9, almost 3/10 to Dean Vella right now. Great effort once again from Pinches. Dean Vella is just popping back into the pit lane to start another attempt. Stremmer just came over the line to do a 55.183. Getting close again to Pinches. Alex Life going just a little bit quicker than Stremmer, only 0.02 of a second almost between the two. But then a gap of 2.5 tenths to Adam Pinches, who is also on an improvement once again, I think. Very good second sector for Pinches as he comes to the line to improve up to a 54.718, going even quicker. And Alex Life now almost half a second away from that pole position spot. As Life is now coming through the final corner to start another attempt. I think this lap wasn't as quick as he's been able to do. No. So this next lap, perhaps with a bit warmer tires, a bit lower fuel, it's going to be a bit more quick, or a bit quicker for the Englishman. Coming into turn 4, the left-hander. Alex is trying to get the grip in the car. First sector wasn't that good for him, 20.2, so this lap is not going to be an improvement, I think, for Alex. Of course, not giving up just yet, but I think he's going to set himself up for another try. 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session, so still a bit of time to try and improve. Let's have a look at Pinches as he is quicker in the first sector once again. This guy can't stop going quicker. Second sector wasn't an improvement for him, but still looking to perhaps improve. Is this last corner is gonna be good for Adam Pinches. Might be able to go even quicker. No, doesn't improve his lap time. 3 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go in the qualifying session. Sheldon Muscat is looking strong on this lap. Just coming into the final corner to improve his lap time. Ooh, big oversteery moment for Sheldon Muscat when he hits the inside curb of the final corner. And then has to abandon the lap, of course, as the car basically almost flipped itself on that curb. Daniel Stremmer has been able to close the gap right up to Adam Pinches, only 0.2 between them now. Great lap time from Stremmer once again. But it's not enough just yet. Also, doesn't seem like Ross McFarlane, second in the championship, is going to be attending this next race, at least not in the qualifying session right now, and also not in the servers. So I think it's gonna be a bit of an easier race again for Pinches. No pressure from that McFarlane behind him, but of course Stremmer is still there. He's been putting a lot of pressure on Pinches. Stromae going for another attempt now, of course. Just under 2 minutes to go in the qualifying session. Alex Live was able to improve his lap time as well. 3/10 between him and Pinches. If he wants to get second, he only needs about a tenth to take away that position from Stromae. Stromae not improving on this lap at least. But perhaps if he sets himself up for another run, might be able to improve. Ooh, a bit of a slide coming out of the final corner. That's not going to help your lap time coming into turn 1. As he also backs away and will be going back into the pit lane. No attempt left for him, as there's no time left to get out of the pit lane and start another lap time. Stromae, all the pressure is on him once again. Final lap for him, I think, but his first sector already looking a bit sloppy. Pinches still comfortably on that pole position at the moment. And Stromae, big wiggle out of turn 6. That's his qualifying lap over. He won't be able to challenge him. Dean Vella, perhaps. He's just coming through turns 5. Ooh, big slide. And that ends the qualifying session for Vella as well. Sheldon Muscat, one of the few drivers still on a lap. Perhaps he's able to get into that second row of starting positions if he just finds a little bit of time. There's not much between him and Dean Vella. He's just coming through turn 6 right now. And I think he's looking to improve his lap time. Looking very strong through that second sector. Ooh, but he's not able to finish that lap. So won't be able to take the position, of course. So Pinches will be starting from pole position once again for the second race. Stromae in second, Alex Live in third, and then Dean Vella in fourth. We will be waiting for the race to begin. But we're gonna have to wait a little bit first, because we will be jumping into the advertisement segment once again about 7 minutes. After that, we will jump straight into this race. So make sure you grab yourself something to drink, and then we will be right back.
Hi everybody and a warm welcome to our Wave Italy Professional Training Center. Passion, full dedication, professional competence are the key points that move me and my team day by day in the effort to deliver the best driving simulation experience. As many of you already know, our technical and R&D headquarters is in Maranello, the famous land of motorsport. But today we are in our location in Verona, where we created a new proposal for the training of professional pilots.
Nice to meet you. I am a professional racing driver and professional coach. I was kart world champion in the Endurance Series, and I race and test many different racing cars, including Ferrari Formula 1. I have been working with simulators for years to improve my technique and to train a lot of talented drivers. Now I tell you what we can do for you. Here we have two professional simulators that can work together, so I can help you to simulate some different racing situations, as the start, overtaking different parts of the circuit, how to defend your position, and the most important, how to be consistent under pressure. With our know-how, we have developed the physical model of the vehicles with maximum accuracy. With this training, you will improve your skills and your sensibility. Our tracks are in laser scan, and we also develop the different weather conditions. We can also work together with our live telemetry. I can watch many data and channels and tell you immediately what is fine and what you have to do better. You can train every day, and I look forward to passing you all my experience to help reach your best results. Remember, great results need hard training. I am ready, and
you? Okay then, thanks for your attention. We are ready to welcome you here. We do our best to have the champion of today and tomorrow. Ciao! And see you soon.
And welcome back, everybody. Here, the second race of the third round of the Wave Italy V8 Championship is about to get underway. We've had an amazing first race already here, which was won by Adam Pinches, but now the second one of the day is about to get rolling. 2 minutes to go before we jump into that race. For the viewers that have just tuned in, it's going to be a 15-minute race, and of course the winner gets most of the points. Now Pinches is starting from pole position, then we've got Daniel Stremer, Alex Leif, Dean Vella, Sheldon Muscat, Kirsten Ebier, Nathan Mesut, Michael Martin, Chris Vella, Matthew Buglia and Michael Butler on the grid. 11 cars. Unfortunately, some people weren't able to get to the race today due to some other commitments. But we've seen already that these 11 drivers are able to give us quite the show in the last race. So let's hope that they are able to give us once again a nice show here in the second race. Pinches, of course, leading that championship with 75 points. Now with the last race win added to that, it's going to be 100 points even. considering Ross McFarlane is not here today, he has 60 points, so 40 points already between the two, which is quite a big gap. 3 races to go after this, or 3 rounds to go after today. 4 actually, sorry, my bad. 4 rounds to go, which also have 2 races for Motorsport and 2 races for Sandown International Motorway. So still quite a few points to be given away for the drivers, but it is time to head into this race because the lights are about to get ready to go on. 15 minutes of racing here at the Barbagallo Raceway is about to get underway. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 lights, and we are away, and it is a good start already for Daniel Stramer, perhaps trying to have a look up the inside of Adam Pinches coming to turn 1. No, door is firmly closed by Pinches right there. Alex Life having a look around the outside of Daniel Stramer, and Dean Vella also trying to have a quick sneak peek up to the inside there, but everybody cleanly through that first corner. Oh, as I say that, Sheldon Muscat spins around, gets collected by Nathan Mifsud. No, Michael Martin and Chris Vella also involved in that, and Sheldon Muscat dropping down the field there. Pinches still leading this race, and Alex Life now starting to put the pressure on Daniel Stramer. Alex Life having a look on the outside of Stramer. Ooh, late braking, almost gets the move done. But this time around, Alex Life has a better exit coming into turn 1. Now around the outside is going to be difficult. Next corner is going to be an inside turn, though Dean Vella is now also having a look. No, he stays behind him. So Daniel Stramer definitely feeling the pressure right now from Alex behind him. It's going to allow Adam Pinches to perhaps increase that gap once again. It's a short race, only 15 minutes, of course, so I feel little time. Let's get, ooh, big mistake there from Daniel Stramer, running onto the grass that allows Alex Life to make a move up to the inside here in turn 6. Perhaps Dean Vella also taking the opportunity now. Down the back straight they go. Still a good run there for Daniel Stramer, but definitely that mistake costing him quite a lot. Now Dean Vella putting the pressure on Stramer as well, coming into turn 1. Ooh, is that a mistake from Life? He went quite wide through turn 4 there, allowing to have Daniel Stramer close in a bit more. Ooh, Kirsten ABR and P5 feeling the pressure from Nathan Mifsud now. Big mistake coming into turn 6 there. Nathan Mifsud almost taking the opportunity, but not quite able to make the move on Kirsten ABR coming into turn 6 there. Now perhaps into turn 7, hard braking. Ooh, very late braking for Mifsud, almost runs into the back of Kirsten ABR there. Manages to get the car stopped right in time. There wasn't much between them. Now coming into turn 1, Nathan, ooh, a bit of a bump there on Kirsten ABR's rear, and that allows him to get right by. Not the cleanest move I've seen today. Perhaps something the stewards will have a look at. Definitely a bit of a bump given there by Nathan Mifsud. Now Daniel Stramer and Alex Life still battling it out. Dean Vella behind them, not too far away. The gap starting to stretch out a little bit now. Already 1 second between Pinches and Alex Live, so Pinches definitely doing a good job so far. Once again, we expect nothing less from him, to be honest, in this point in time, having won all the races. Now this Barbagallo track proving to be quite the challenge for some of the drivers. We've seen it in the first race, a lot of lockups on the tires. In the end of the race, we saw a lot of drivers struggling with those rear tires. So perhaps something that they will take into account in this race. Try to be a bit more smooth. Pinches not stretching the gap out as much as he has been doing in the first 5 minutes of this race right now, but still a second between him and Alex Live. Alex is not too far away just yet. Still an opportunity to get that first place. If Pinches makes a mistake, he is right there to bounce. Chris Vella on P7 has gone wide in turn 6. That's gonna allow Michael Butler to close right up to the back of him. Perhaps we'll be able to make a move coming into turn 7. Late braking for Butler on the inside. Ooh, very close on the rear tire there from Chris Vella. Sheldon Muscat is having a look behind him as well, and Chris Vella able to keep them behind him for now. Sheldon Muscat trying to find a way past these guys. Sheldon not having the best second race so far. 5th in the first one. Right now in 9th place. Of course, has still got 2 drivers in front of him that he will try to get past. Michael Butler looking up the inside. No, has to go defensive. Oh, but a big mistake again from Chris Vella. Going wide in turn 6, losing both positions now. Sheldon Muscat is going to try and go around the outside. Bit of grass there. Butler's going defensive coming into turn 7. Muscat with late braking might be able to go around the outside. That's not going to be easy, but it's going to have the better line out of the corner now. Coming into turn 1, a bit of curb taken there by Muscat. Butler taking the defensive line. It's going to fend off Sheldon Muscat for now. Ooh, a bit of a mistake for Butler on the braking. Hits the curb in turn 1, and that's going to allow Sheldon Muscat right by into P7. Sheldon goes. And Chris Vella also lost the position to Michael Martin now, so definitely not the race that Chris Vella wanted so far. Finished in 11th last time around, and now also struggling quite hard to try and keep that 10th position. The gap between Pinches and Alex Live grown to 1.3 seconds, 1.6 even this lap, as we are about halfway through. Alex Live making a big mistake though, coming into turn 1, almost ending up in the runoff area. That will allow Daniel Stremer to start closing in. Last time around, Stremer got that second place. Live not able to really stay close to Pinches right now. And we can start him doing mistakes, like I say. He goes wide in turn 6. That allows Daniel Stremer to go right past into P2. And Live struggling really hard with his car at the moment. Perhaps tires starting to drop off already. We're only just halfway past this race. But Live definitely having some troubles with his car right now. And Stremer into P2 where he finished last time around as well. And he will perhaps try to close the gap to Pinches, which has risen up to 3 seconds right now already. So definitely not going to be easy for Daniel Stremer to try and close that gap that quickly. Only 6 minutes to go in this race, of course. Now, Michael Butler and Michael Martin for P8 also still battling. Chris Vella is not too far behind him as well. Chris Vella, sorry, had a bit of a mistake in the last few laps. Able to at least get back to the rear of Michael Martin at the moment. Let's see who gets the best run out of the final corner. Seems to be pretty equal on all of them. In the meantime, P5, Nathan Mifsud and Dean Vella. Nathan trying to stick to Dean Vella, but his lap times are just a little bit slower. Michael Butler goes a bit wide in turn 4 now. Allows Michael Martin to close just a little bit. Into turn 6, we've seen a lot of drivers make mistakes here already in the second race. This time everybody gets through cleanly. Nobody really able to make a move just yet. Everybody just a bit too far back. Michael Martin taking a lot of curb. That's not going to help you. These curbs are extremely high, and if you touch them, it's going to be difficult for you to keep the car under control. Now Chris Vella is closest into Michael Martin. And we'll start to look and try and get past him. Sheldon Muscat and Kirsten Abbey are also battling. Kirsten feeling the pressure from Sheldon behind him. Last lap it was a bit of a mistake there from Kirsten Abbey as he almost lost a second to Sheldon Muscat. Michael Butler still leading this little pack for 8th place. Michael Martin keeps the pressure on them. Sheldon Muscat into turn 1, putting the pressure on Kirsten Abier. We know Sheldon has the pace to be at least around top 5. So let's see if he's able to get past Kirsten here. Chris Vella though, back in P10. He's looking to perhaps have a look at Michael Martin coming into turn 6. No, it's a bit too far back. Ooh, Kirsten goes a bit wide coming out of turn 7. Not enough of a mistake for Muscat to really have a look. Ooh, he almost dives up the inside there into turn 1. Definitely showing his presence to Kirsten. Perhaps trying to force him into a mistake. And there it is, the mistake. Sheldon Muscat goes up the inside of turn 4. Kirsten Abier going a bit wide in turn 4. Having to give up the position to Muscat. A bit of a drift coming out of turn 5 there. Great car control from Muscat. Taking that 6th place away from Kirsten Abier. Oh, Michael Butler, a bit of a mistake coming through turn 6. That's going to allow Michael Martin to close right up. Perhaps you'll be able to make a move coming into turn 7. Butler fending off the inside line, and Martin braking very late onto the grass. That's going to allow Chris Vella right past. Big mistake there for Michael Martin. We've seen it the last race as well, where he made some mistakes. And this time, again, making that mistake, allowing the drivers to get past. Now only just over a minute remaining in this race. Pinchas still comfortably leading. Alex Leifenströmer not too far away from each other, but just far enough that it's not really a battle. But if one of them makes a mistake, there's going to be consequences. Now Chris Vella really close to the back of Michael Butler, coming through turn 5 up to turn 6 on the inside. Michael Butler, no. Michael Butler still has that covered. Chris Vella trying to get a good run out of this corner. But it's too far away to really try something this time around. I think this is the last lap. Ooh, big mistake there for Butler. Able to keep Vella behind him, but definitely showing that the pressure is on. Mistakes being made by quite a few drivers. Now let's see, 20 seconds on the clock. Is Pinches able to get over the line before the clock runs out? 10 seconds. It's going to be close, but yes, there's going to be one other lap. Last lap is running now, so the driver is going to have to make sure that they don't make mistakes again. Try and at least take home the points that they have right now, and maybe get just another position. Chris Vella is still close to Michael Butler, of course, and Michael Martin not too far behind him as well. They come across the line to start their final lap. As the guy in front, Sheldon Muscat, has made a mistake. He's closed right into them. Have to keep an eye out on Pinches, and Muscat makes an even bigger mistake. That's gonna allow all of these three to get past him. Pinches, though, is coming out of the final corner to finish this race once again. What a performance from the Hungarian driver. Adam Pinches takes all the points of today. Stremmer taking second and Live crossing the line in third. Let's focus on that battle for P8. It's not done yet. Michael Martin trying to find a way across Chris Vella. Michael Butler has a bit of a gap now coming to the final corner. Michael Martin, I think, is a bit too far back as well. Has a cheeky look up the inside though, but I think he's got everything covered. Yes, so let's go through the finishing positions. Dean Vella was in 4th, Nathan Mifsud in 5th, Kirsten Abier in 6th, Michael Butler then taking that 7th position, Chris Vella in 8th, Michael Martin in 9th, Matthew Buia down in 6th place, and Sheldon Muscat, not exactly sure what happened there, but dropped down the field from P7, P6 even, I think, up to the last position, P11. But once again, a very, very, very great performance from Adam Pinches, and I believe we're also going to have some interviews with those drivers. Of course, Pinches. Let's start with you, Adam. You've won all races so far. Once again today, both of the races. Ross McFarlane not here today to challenge you, at least for the pole position. So what are your feelings for today so far?
Yeah, hello guys. It was unfortunate that Ross cannot attend because of his work. But yeah, the field was still strong, especially with the short track. We didn't have that much gap, especially in the qualifying. So, but yeah, I managed to finally get 2 pole actually, and then just at the start, just basically defend the inside line, and after that I just needed to manage the race.
Yeah, definitely great job by doing so. I guess this track, you told me last time around in Melbourne that you haven't even looked at this track back then. How did you like it in the end?
Yeah, it was a good track, quite fun to drive. With my car, with the Holden ZB, it's quite difficult. I saw the other Holden might be better in this track, than the CB, but yeah, either way, managed to get a good setup with Martin again, and then yeah, it was a good track in the end.
All right. Yeah, great stuff. Looking forward to the next race, Phillip Island. What are your thoughts on that?
Same as last time. Don't really look at the track, so I need to learn it as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're just gonna have to wait and see. That race, by the way, for the viewers, that's gonna be a 40-minute long race with a mandatory pit stop and a tire change. So it's gonna give us a little bit more strategy involved. Let's see how everybody's able to cope with that. But Adam, once again, congrats on the race win, and good luck in the next race.
Thank you.
So let's move on to second place finisher, at least for the second race. Daniel, so how was your day today?
Yeah, hi everyone. First thing I wanted to say, very unfortunate that Ross wasn't able to participate, and also Gerard Martinez. He's currently P4 in the championship, if I remember well.
Yeah.
Quali went quite good in the first qualifying. I did a 54.8. Did a little mistake, but I think Adam was a bit faster. Race was nothing special, to be honest. I was in second place, stayed there till the end, made some mistakes. Second race, qualifying, I wasn't very happy with it. Still managed a 54.9, which got me in second position again. And this time in the race, I made a mistake, and Alex got into P2, so I lost one place and had to defend also to P4 behind me. In the middle of the race, Alex did a mistake, so I was able to overtake him again. And since then, I stayed in second, and yeah, was two good races actually.
Yeah, great job once again. Now, of course, the championship fight is still open, but I guess you're going to try and aim to challenge Adam in the next race again. Phillip Island, what are your thoughts on that?
Phillip Island, I did some races there on iRacing. Very difficult track, very technical. I like it, but I know from iRacing that I wasn't too fast there. But still, for the championship, of course, everything can happen, even though Adam has a big advantage in points. But you never know.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, like I said, the next race will have that element of strategy a bit more. Perhaps something you can have a bit of a different strategy than the other drivers to try and perhaps take a win.
To be honest, I don't know how many laps there are. I still have to look at the calendar.
Yeah, it's going to be a 40-minute race with a mandatory pit and tire change, so that's probably going to at least spice things up a little bit.
Okay, that could be interesting. Yeah, I will have to see. Maybe the softs work a little bit better there. I still have to try.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, and once again, congrats on the second position.
Thank you, and I would like to say a big thanks to my team, GT Omega, RPM Esports, and also World Pro Racing for hosting this nice races.
Yeah, thank you. All right, then Alex, finishing P3 and in the first and second races. Bit of a mistake there in the second race, giving up the second place again to Daniel. What are your thoughts on the two races today?
Thank you very much. Yes, it was that mistake in the second race. That was pretty much just overheated the tyres a little bit, and once you do that in this car, it's incredibly difficult to keep it under control. That's something I was consciously managing throughout both races, but you know, it's one of those things. But pretty pleased with the result overall. I knew this track in advance, so it was a slight advantage to me over a couple of the other guys there. But yeah, it was a nice racing.
Yeah, great job. Of course, mistakes are made sometimes, but still, great result to get P3s 2 times in a row. Looking forward to Phillip Island. What are your thoughts on that track?
I'll let you know once I learn it tomorrow.
All right. Okay, and the longer race style, does it suit you, or would you rather have these short races again?
No, I'm quite comfortable racing that sort of length race, so that's not a problem. I don't think there's going to be much choice if you've got to pit entire change on strategy. It's super softs have pretty much been optimum for all the other races, so I think that's probably where the smart money's going to be for that race.
All right, that's good to know. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But until then, thanks for talking to us, and once again, congratulations and good luck for the next race.
Thank you very much.
All right, that has been the interviews for today. Once again, a big thanks to all the drivers that joined us in the commentary box. Then it is time for us to also close off today. I want to give a big thank you once again to our sponsor Wave Italy, giving us a prize of a pedal set worth €1,500. So I'm sure these drivers are looking forward to win it. And at the moment, Adam is looking the prime suspect to do so. Anyway, big thanks to them, and obviously a big thanks to everybody watching and all the drivers that have driven here today. I have been Felix van Delft. Your podcast was brought to you by Justin Missut with the race direction, Adrian Figallo and George Muscat doing the stewarding. This broadcast was brought to you by Raceline TV and powered by Melita and Restream EO. Big thank you for watching. We will be back in about 1 week time at Phillip Island, so make sure you tune in for that as well. Same time, same place. Until then, thank you for watching and take care.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome to our Wave Italy Professional Training Center. Passion, full dedication, professional competence are the key points that move me and my team day by day in the effort to deliver the best driving simulation experience. As many of you already know, our technical and R&D headquarters is in Maranello, the famous land of motorsport. But today we are in our location in Verona, where we created a new proposal for the training of professional pilots.
Nice to meet you. I am a professional racing driver and professional coach. I was kart world champion in the endurance series, and I race and test many different racing cars, including Ferrari Formula 1. I have been working with simulators for years to improve my technique and to train a lot of talented drivers. Now I tell you what we can do for you. Here we have two professional simulators that can work together, so I can help you to simulate some different racing situations, as the start, overtaking different parts of the circuit, how to defend your position, and the most important, how to be consistent under pressure. With our know-how, we have developed the physical model of the vehicles with maximum accuracy. With this training, you will improve your skills and your sensitivity. Our tracks are in laser scan, and we also develop the different weather conditions. We can also work together with our live telemetry. I can watch many data and channels and tell you immediately what is fine and what you have to do better. You can train every day, and I look forward to passing you all my experience to help reach your best results. Remember, great results need hard training. I am ready, and you?
Okay then, thanks for your attention. We are ready to welcome you here. We do our best to have the champion of today and tomorrow. Ciao and see you soon.
I know you've got a secret like a child, you wanna keep it, but your shiny eyes reveal the simple truth.
For only €5 a month, experience every high-definition moment on your TV, tablet, phone or PC. Great teams, great moments, and so much more. TSN from Melita is your ticket to stay in the game. Visit melita.com/sports.